Your integrity gaps are going to be those things that you'll uncover, hopefully yourself, so someone else doesn't have to. But it's the difference between your actions and what you choose to do, your behaviors, compared to what you believe. So as you rinse your worldview, it's important that you're identifying these gaps. You know, you believe this, but you're doing that. A lot of times for people, this will pop up in the spiritual component of their worldview. It might be in the money and the career. It might be in the conflict or trust, performance, health. So there's gaps everywhere. And a lot of the work that we do with our clients is identifying those gaps and then holding people accountable, because most people can't do them by themselves. And a lot of times you can't even see them yourselves. You're a rare bird if you could identify your own integrity gaps and then get busy closing them by changing your behaviors to match your beliefs, because it's so much easier to change your beliefs to match your behaviors. It's what we do. We're so good at it. We rationalize what we do. Oh, it's not such a big deal. And, you know, you kind of put your standard down a notch so that you don't feel that cognitive dissonance inside when you're kind of going against the grain, doing things you shouldn't do. And this comes into play when people can't resist impulse. This is where a lot of addictions kind of take the worst of people. And you got to be honest, and you got to be brutally honest with yourself if you want to attack the hardest integrity gaps that have been either holding you back your whole life or are making you closer and closer to a rock bottom moment. You know, it's like, why wait until you hit a rock bottom? And if you're leading anything, you have a lot of stress, you have a lot of pressure, you don't get to turn it off when you leave at 5 o'clock. And a lot of times people are using, you know, other things to cope. And that's why people fall into alcohol, drugs, porn, pills, you name it. And a lot of times it's the people who are the highest up the pole, the people who are the most capable, who can hide it the best. And this is where we talk about character. We talk about the secret lives people are living, the double lives people are living. And you got to be honest with yourself if you're living one, and you got to do something about it, or you don't. And it's your choice, and your choices have consequences, and you'll just inevitably keep going down until you hit a rock bottom. And it is not pretty when you see people hit a rock bottom, whether it's a divorce, bankruptcy, or rehab, you name it. And unfortunately, a lot of times it's the people who are at the helm of the system that are battling it the hardest, because they don't get to turn it off. And a lot of people can't understand that if they've never had the responsibility of either being an entrepreneur, or having a company, or having everything on the line where you had to make payroll the next day and you didn't have the money. And so it takes a rare cat to be able to, you know, deal with that. And you hopefully will deal with it in healthy ways and not choose the ways that either you've become accustomed to. And if you have, then you hopefully will wake up and do something about it. These are the hardest things to deal with, the integrity gaps. A lot of times they're easy when they're not such a big deal. So depending on how much you want to grow and how much you want to change will determine which integrity gaps you're going to attack first. So feel free to ask questions, ask for feedback, and just be honest and give yourself a genuine, honest self-assessment of where you are with your worldview compared to your actions and compared to what you believe.